Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Today, this is Lorene. I am with Sacred-by-Design, your interior designer. And today we're going to talk more about the cost of a remodel. Specifically, we're going to address plumbing costs. Normally, we would start in a kitchen. Those rooms are bigger. Most everything that we talk about would also apply in a bathroom. That translates from a kitchen discussion. However, this is going to be the one place where we're going to reverse that because most of your cost in a plumbing project will be in bathroom remodels, kitchen remodels. Some of this stuff will apply, but much less so. Plumbing isn't always necessarily one of your larger costs in a kitchen. So we'll address specifically bathrooms today. And this is all remodel. We're not talking anything about custom homes and the cost of plumbing in a brand new building. We are going to start with the baseline, just like we did with electrical. Your baseline is going to be replacing fixtures. We're going to talk a little bit more about specifics, but basically your trim fixtures, your faucets, your shower heads, your tub faucets, and your toilet. If you are replacing those in existing locations, that is going to be a baseline cost for a bathroom upgrade. From there, we start moving into additional cost. Now, the one thing that you need to clarify, first of all, if you are trying to only replace fixtures in an existing tub shower combo or shower, especially anything that's acrylic or tile, which basically is everything, is that if your fixtures are very old, the plumbing in your wall is going to be very old. You're going to need to confirm with your plumber whether or not the valves that are existing in the walls, the plumbing that are in the walls that control the water and temperature, all of that, that's all the behind the scenes in plumbing, whether or not they will translate to new fixtures. If not, then you can be pretty limited as to what you can update or not update in that scenario. Now, we'll assume we're moving forward. We're replacing everything. We're going to pull out your tub or your shower. The walls are going to be open, that kind of thing. You can refinish an existing tub and then resurface the walls surrounding it if you have a tub shower combo. Same could possibly happen in a shower, depending on the type of shower you currently have. You could put in a new acrylic base where the drain line is in the same location and just redo the walls, which allows the walls to get opened up so you can put in new shower and tub faucets, fixtures, and valves. PEX plumbing if you need to update to that. And this is where the cost starts to increase, obviously. The more you replace, the more it's going to cost. Labor to pull out, labor to put back in, those are going to be the costs. What's going to start to affect that is if you're changing sizes, if you change drain location. So if you're relocating a toilet, you're relocating your vanity sink, or you're relocating the drain in the shower and or tub area, those are going to exponentially increase the cost. Drain lines can get tricky, and depending on your specific situation, upstairs, downstairs, moving that plumbing and those drain lines can get a little more on the spendy side. They have to take into account flow, which is regulated by the angle that the pipe goes and all of that. So distances, your plumber is definitely going to be able to walk you through all of that. But just be aware, once you start moving drain lines, it's more expensive than just moving a water line most often. So you need to be aware of that. Whenever possible, if you can, you want to keep your drain line in the same location to save money. You can always move shower heads and water lines over to a different wall depending on your situation, with a qualifier that if you are relocating your water lines, it will also add costs. It's just not as expensive as moving drain lines. So be aware, relocating a toilet, relocating a drain line in a shower and or tub, and relocating the drain line on your vanity. Those are going to be the most expensive. Relocating water lines for your vanity or your shower or tub, not necessarily as expensive, depending on what your current surrounding walls are and how that's affected. Now, what will add cost also is drywall. Anytime you start moving stuff and Drywall has to get cut down so that they can get into the walls. It's the same as with electrical. Drywall will always add cost, even a small patch. There's always going to be a minimum charge for somebody like that to come in and do a patch. So don't feel that if you just cut a little hole and you just patch that hole, it's going to be way less expensive than hanging a whole sheet, because it might not. And actually, and most often for drywallers, it's easier for them to hang a whole sheet and cut a hole out of it than it is for them to patch and match a hole on an existing wall if you can see it. So be aware of those additional costs and take that into account when you're talking with your designer around layout, where things are going to be. Make choices. You know, is it most important to relocate the toilet? Is it most important to add a second sink, or just relocate the existing sink? Those are the things that will greatly affect your cost. And some of the things that we're not aware of, that we don't see, is that your faucet choices also can affect that, depending on whether or not you are using an existing sink. Your sink and your faucet lineup have to match. We're going to show you some pictures here. Center set takes 3 holes, and it has center, you'll see in the picture here, with the faucet and then the handles, but the holes are all covered up with a single piece. They call that piece the escutcheon. And then a single hole faucet is exactly what it says. Everything runs through a single hole. It has and you see here, just a single hole with the handle on top. And then your widespread, which actually take 3 holes, as you can see here. And so those will affect costs. They will also affect what sink you can choose to go with which faucet, or vice versa. If you're reusing your existing sink, that the holes can match to the new faucet that you're installing. There is a qualifier there on a single hole faucet. You can get the additional escutcheon. Most often it's available with every single hole faucet that will cover the holes of a center set, so that you get the beauty and simplicity of a single hole. And then it just has a simple metal plate that covers the holes. It looks like it's part of the faucet. It's a nice way to switch out from a center set to a single whole single handle faucet, if that's what your preference is. I hope those things were helpful. Then from there, you're talking, anytime you get off standard, when you talk about plumbing fixtures, especially standard size tubs, standard size shower bases, standard size sinks, standard vanity sizes, all of those things, once those are going to be your baseline, then once you start to customize from that, then it starts to get more expensive. If you want to put in a walk-in shower, and as opposed to a very popular remodel is pulling out an existing tub shower combo to put in a standing shower, and everybody wants it to look really nice. Tile is an amazing option. It lasts forever. It's gorgeous. You have all kinds of options. However, one of those in-between spaces is you can get acrylic bases that are made to fit into those spaces, and then you can tile the walls. That's a good way to save some money. Custom tile shower pans can get pretty spendy depending on where you're at. So just those are the things that are going to start to exponentially. Tile is going to be one of your more expensive floorings. Then, of course, you can add the cost of heated tile floorings, and that it will increase your cost. Then from there, electrical, which we talked about in the last. But all these things are also the same in kitchens. When you start moving drain lines for a sink or adding an additional sink, that's going to exponentially increase your cost. Changing the location of the water line because you've decided to move your refrigerator to a different wall, those will also obviously greatly increase your plumbing cost. Replacing existing. Your dishwasher location typically won't increase the cost if you're moving it, unless you're moving it further away from the sink. Your dishwasher plumbing is always part of the plumbing in your sink. So as long as it's staying next to your sink, then that cost, if you relocate it one side versus the other, shouldn't increase, because it's not affecting the actual water lines and drain lines that are in the floor and the walls. So those are the things that you need to be thinking about. I hope this was helpful for you. Please, as always, questions, comments. I love feedback. If I've missed something that you really want to know about, I want to hear about it. I love nothing better than educating my clients to help them get the most bang for their dollar and to have a beautiful, functional, amazing space when you're all done. Again, this is Lorraine with Sacred by Design, your interior designer. And I hope you have an amazing sacred day. Thank you.